Hi, good afternoon. Derek here. Would like to give you an update on a few things happening around the hospital, as well as let you know that on July 21st, we will be hosting a virtual town hall. Normally, we would convene in the conference rooms together. This year, clearly because of what's going on, we will be hosting a virtual town hall via Microsoft Teams. We ask that you please be on the lookout for information on that and submit questions and topics in advance so that we know we're addressing what's most on your minds. First of all, I want to start by saying thank you and expressing my gratitude for everything that you all have been doing for these past several months. It is not the year that any of us, I think, envisioned for 2020, but to see your resiliency and grit and compassion and dedication to each other and to our patients is truly remarkable and inspiring. So thank you. How are we doing with COVID? As of this morning, we had 11 COVID patients in the hospital, 4 of whom were still positive. So 4 positive patients. And we are still actively treating this complex vented patient population on 7 West. So thank you to both the ICU team and the 7th floor who took on the challenge of these patients. And so I thank you for what you're doing. We know that these patients are more complex than we anticipated, but you are serving a niche of population of these COVID patients that is important on their road to recovery. So thank you to that team. We are actively planning for a fall resurgence. There are a lot of models out there, and frankly, we're not sure which one is right, and really nobody will know. But with what we're seeing happening in states around the United States, with spikes and resurgence of cases, it is prudent for us to be actively planning for something that may happen in the fall. Because of that, the field hospital will remain up in the North Lot for the foreseeable future, should the need arise that we need beds. And there are a lot of other active recovery efforts going on around planning for the fall, what we can be doing differently. And please be a part of that conversation. Help us to know what we should be doing differently, and really grasping from a lot of the learnings and lessons during the past several months. We are actively deploying task force teams that are looking at different parts of our organization on how to help us recover in the best way. I do want to acknowledge that even though we're working on recovery plans and actively transitioning the building back to some state of normal, that we do have COVID patients still in the building. And for many team members, we hear you and we acknowledge you that for some of you, really not much has changed since April. And so please just organizationally be aware that while we're trying to balance looking to the future, we're still actively working through this complex pandemic. How are we doing as an organization? Financially, like many organizations, we are struggling to make up for the last 4 or 5 months of no surgery happening, closing our outpatient services, some of our inpatient services, and patients not coming into our ER as they normally would. All of those things have contributed to, as of the end of May, as a hospital, we're behind our targeted budget by about $10.5 million. That's a significant amount of money, and that's even accounting for about $21 million worth of CARES Act, or CARES, funding that was received from the federal government. All of that combined, we have a road to recovery that is going to be challenging, but not impossible, and we're excited for how this is going to reshape ways that we're thinking about things, the way that we're doing things that were inefficient, or things that just didn't make sense. Help us again be a part of that dialogue so that we can shape our future and emerge out of post-COVID stronger than when we went in February. Quality is still strong. As many of you know, we're focusing on a number of initiatives around pressure injuries and falls and reducing surgical site infections. All of those things remain a priority, and please be on the lookout in the town hall and later this year for additional information on areas of focus and our 6 shared goals. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, I want to update and make sure that everybody here is aware of everything we're doing around you, and that's everything to take care of your psychological and emotional and social well-being, as well as your physical, nutritional well-being, and your financial well-being. Acknowledging that all of these are impacted by what's happened. And there is a group of team members, and we thank you to those who are on this task force or committee, helping us think about ways to continually push for recognition and well-being in all of those avenues. Even with all that being done, if we're being honest, it's probably not enough. And so I encourage everybody here, please reach out to the many resources here at Northern and at Northwell, confidential services, just to talk and talk through some of your experiences and give us an opportunity to focus on your well-being, so that as a team we're well prepared for what may come or what may not come in the fall. Hopefully there's nothing related to COVID that we have to focus on, and that we can focus on the future. But in either scenario, it requires all of us to be operating at our full capacity, and we realize that now is the time for you to focus on your own well-being. So please, that is perhaps one of the most important messages here, is focus on you and focus on your families. So in closing, I just want to say again, thank you to what you're all doing. I look forward to seeing you at the town hall. Many things are going to change as a result of this pandemic, all of which are positive. If not, keep us honest and let us know. And I encourage you all to please take time to focus on your own well-being. So with that, I look forward to seeing you on July 21st, and be well.